Today we have a really spicy list for you guys. We're talking about Sultai Reanimation, and we're running a 2-card reanimation package that I absolutely love. We're talking about Tamiyo, we're talking about Dollhouse of Horrors. If you guys don't know, both of these bring creatures back from the graveyard onto the battlefield as tokens. The Dollhouse has a little bit of drawback, being that it's going to bring them in as 1/1s with haste, but it is a lot cheaper. It only costs 1 mana to bring these things back. Which means we're going to have a lot of creatures with some good ETB effects, as well as effects when they attack, which we have a couple of really good ones. We've got things like Titan of Industry and All-Seeing Arbiter. Titan, obviously, we all know what that does. Enters the battlefield, triggers a ton of things. All-Seeing Arbiter comes in, draws us some cards, puts some cards in the graveyard, which fuels the reanimation package, but it also renders your opponent's creatures pretty useless for the following turn. A couple of other creatures I wanted to talk about is Undercover Operative and the Consuming Blob. Consuming Blob, if you guys don't know, one of my favorite cards, gets bigger the more types of cards that are in your graveyard. We can get this thing to like a 5/6 pretty consistently, and then it creates a copy of itself at the end step, which is really cool. If you got Undercover Operative and you're copying the blob, you're going to get 2 additional blobs at the end of every single turn, or you can even copy your own Titan of Industry for some extra fun. But these 2 cards are really fun, and the deck is a blast, and I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy today's video. Before we jump into it though, there will be a full deck breakdown at the end of today's video, so stick around for that. In the meantime, down below in the links, there's a full deck list, and if you guys enjoy content just like this, we do post videos every single day except for the weekends, so be sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. It helps out a ton, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, guys, enjoy today's video. We'll see you at the end. Peace. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We are going to kick things off correctly here this week. We're going to be doing it with Sultai Reanimator. Already, you guys know this is what I love to do, man. Reanimation is what I love to do. Sultai has always been really good to me too, because we've got things like Tamiyo and the Dollhouse. Not to mention the Ooze, man. The Ooze is one of my favorite cards, and it works really well in this type of a game plan. And our opening hand is actually really, really solid here, because we do have, you know, early game and ramping into our bigger reanimation spells. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. We got green, we got blue. Go ahead and play out the Shigeki here. Hopefully Shigeki stays alive, but it looks like they have a cut down. That's a bummer. That is actually a really big bummer. So we are up against potentially mono black here, it looks like. Soul Transfer can hit a couple of things. We're probably gonna save it though for Shieldred, probably. We'll see. I feel like that was such a bummer to lose that Shigeki so early. That would have really gotten us off to a really good start there if we could have just on-tapped one time with it, but it is what it is. All right, I think I've got a really easy way to deal with that with the Tamiyo. We're gonna go ahead and pay the Phyrexian mana for this, and we're just gonna deal with it by tapping it for now. And next turn we can get the Dollhouse down, hopefully get Shigeki back, but that's not really gonna help us. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. The opponent is pretty close to that Invoke Despair curve. There's a Shieldred. That's the card I'd rather get rid of here with the transfer. Easy peasy, get rid of that. Keep this tapped. Not trying to deal with that right now. Off to a bit of a slow start for us on our end. Again, I mean, I just can't tell you guys how important that Shigeki, you know, getting killed for was. All right, Tainted Adversary is not an Invoke Despair. We love that. That's a good card. Yeah, that's not a bad card at all. Maybe we go that route. Let's play it out first to see what we hit. Hopefully it's another creature we can drop off into the graveyard. It is. Let's keep this thing. Do we go for Shigeki or that? I don't think we do. I think we just keep the tapping going on here. Yeah, I'm gonna tap this actually, because it's got the Death Touch, right? I'm gonna tap that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tap this with its own ability, giving them 2 cards, and that should keep Tamiyo safe for another turn here, as long as of course they don't have Invoke Despair, but that's fine.
more distractions.
That's fine. We get it back with the Dollhouse of Horrors. It comes in with haste, and then we can do its ability twice, which is fantastic.
Off you go.
Yeah, this is fine. This actually worked out not terribly. Not terribly. All right. All right, so now they've got 3 cards in hand, though, which is a bit of a bummer. They are going to probably, you know, be plussing the Liliana here the next couple of turns, which is not a terrible thing for us. As long as we get the Dollhouse down, we're going to be in good shape. We don't care too much about the Liliana. Dollhouse, like I said, is going to come in and have enough mana to immediately be able to get use out of it. All right. Let's get that down. They've got something to interact with 3 mana here, so I'm very confused what that might be, but I am going to get the Arbiter back down here. Again, this comes in with haste, so we're going to be able to trigger its ability twice, which will hit for 2. They destroy it, though, immediately, so that was what they were hanging on to there. I see. Let's see. 1, 2. We only got 1 mana to use. Okay. Guess we'll drop the Urborg here, or actually that's going to be a good source of milling here, so I'm going to go ahead and go this route. And again, we will tap this, and then we'll probably end up tapping the other Shakedown Heavy as well. And we got to remember Liliana's going to make us discard as well, which is a bit of a bummer, but not really. I don't think we need to focus on playing this turn. I'm going to go ahead and discard it. I know I could play it right now for the 1, but it does have flashback, so let's go ahead and get, you know, get it to the graveyard. It'll be fine. Giving them card advantage feels so bad here, but it is what it is. Tamiyo's just doing too good for us right now. And we've got a lot of decent options in the graveyard too. Undercover Operative, you know, being a copy of the Shakedown Heavy could be very helpful. They hit a Soul Transfer. Bummer.
The gears of this story still turn.
Bummer. Shieldred. Not fun. What do we do here? What do we do with the mana we've been given? Okay. Need to get some stuff to the graveyard. I think that's very key. How do I want to do it though? Do I want to do it with this? Kicking it twice and then soul transferring this? Let's kick this 1 time. Okay. Kick it 1 time. That gives me 1 mana to use for the Dollhouse of Horrors. Okay, and then we can soul transfer this. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna kick this Operative, copy that, and then we get rid of it. They don't have one, we do. That's a beautiful thing. All right, there we go. And it's a 4/5 right away with Death Touch. So I can offer to trade. Yeah, that's a good trade, I think. I think that worked out really nicely. Now we get rid of their Shakedown Heavy. We're not too scared about that anymore. They're left with just a Liliana, and every time they make me discard a creature, this not only gets bigger, but on top of that, we get to bring it back later. So this is good stuff.
This was boring. Sorry, I'm not interested.
Okay, they make me sack a creature. That's worth, you know, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. I do get concerned about their top deck, obviously. If it's an Invoke Despair top deck ever, they're going to be, you know, jumping well ahead of us in this game. So we'll see how that ends up going. They blow up my land, which is kind of strange. Field of Ruin is a tough one for me. I don't think it's very good right now. There's not a whole lot to take advantage of on that. Obviously, if we weren't running a bunch of basics, that could hurt us. But most decks are running plenty of basics for that kind of stuff. Let's go and run a blue out. All right, so we got to know that their next card in hand here probably isn't that good if that's their big play for the turn. All right, let's see if we can get to the graveyard here. An ooze to the graveyard. I like it. Second Dollhouse isn't bad either. Oops. All right, the ooze is currently a 5/6. That's so clutch. And we get that in, and immediately gonna follow that up with copying it and getting a shield counter placed onto our operative. And now our opponent's in a lot of trouble because we're gonna spit out these oozes every turn, 2 at a time. So yeah, I mean, we're sitting pretty nice now because now the Invoke Despair doesn't hit for nearly as much because we have you know, these creatures spitting out every single turn. They blitz in an underdog looking for some card draw. I'm happy to block and trade with this adversary because, you know, they're just tokens. We're going to get more later. This seems like it's going to be a pretty clean victory here, guys. Pretty clean victory. Guess we can take an Urborg out of the yard, huh? Sure. Another Urborg. And we send all of this. We leave back this one because it's got Death Touch, so we don't want to trade with that. Anything else we can trade with, that's fine. All right, they eat a token, which is the worst thing they could have blocked, honestly, in their position. They probably should have blocked an Urborg. It's probably their best bet, but anyways, GG's. That was game. There wasn't a whole lot they could do, so on to the next one. All right, that was a solid first game. Now we just got to win one more to get the next tier up, and then we don't have to worry about ranking down if we lose the next game after that, which is really nice. It's a nice little, I love that about this game. When you get to the next tier, they kind of give you 1 or 2 buffer games to kind of feel some stuff out. But let's go ahead and let's get that W, though. We need that W bad. Up against Kill Creek. All right. And the opening hand here is scary. Oh man, I'm gonna keep it because I am such a glutton for punishment, but I do need a black source, like really fast. I need to get that going. No Urborg on the first play here. Could just get hit with a little cut down. We do get another land, which is great. You know what? Let's do it. Let's mill 3 cards here and see what we find. Nice. 2 creatures off the top and a black source, though. I could have used that. Not the end of the world to lose just 1 land there, though. Not bad. Not bad. And then I could also Tamiyo next turn if I find any land whatsoever. Graveyard. That's a bummer of a card to see here. That's going to eat up our graveyard and then make our Urborg a lot smaller, which is a bit of a bummer. All right, well, let's go ahead and try to do this again, and we'll probably throw out a double block if we have to. Nice, that's a big hit. Love that. All right, now we're at 2, 4, 5 bodies. That's huge. They can't attack with their Trespasser now. If they get down to Liliana and minus, that would be a bit of a bummer, but I still got a good block here, so I don't mind the soul transfer. That's fine. Still keeping the opponent off the attack, which is the big thing here. Can't let them eat up our graveyard. We kind of need it. We kind of need it, especially because I kind of screwed myself over with not playing this correctly. All right, this is going to come in. Now, it has 3 loyalty. There's nothing we can really do with that. I mean, there is kind of. Another Urborg actually seems pretty good. But then it goes down. Hold on. Then it goes down to a 3/4, 2 3/4s. Is that good? That's not good, is it? I just don't want to have to discard a card here, which. Let's just submit 0. Let's submit 0. Because if I get another land here, the Consuming Blob seems pretty good, and I don't want to throw away another one. So I think this is fine to just keep the 4/5 out here. But we are susceptible to simple Liliana removal tricks. Which could be a problem, but no, they play out 2 creatures that can't attack just yet, so I made the right call. Love that. Definitely gonna go Consuming Blob here. Also, Tamiyo Plus is very good now against the 6/4. No attacks. All right, we're still playing very defensively. I'm aware that I could have been attacking in here with these 4/5 bodies, but I don't want to leave my Tamiyo unprotected because there is a good chance Tamiyo could pull something big here, like an ultimate at some point, but that is barring that they don't hit and Invoke Despair. We kept a really bad hand. And like honestly, we should have probably been in a lot more trouble than we've been in so far. All right, Tainted Indulgence seems fun. Here's the thing, right? Is that, yeah, I think we just kind of let's just rinse repeat actually.
Such an imperfect.
Little rinse repeat. I don't like the dollhouse here because it makes these smaller, right? So let's just go ahead and drop another consuming blob here, and let's start sending some pressure through to the opponent. Now that we've got 2 blobs out here producing us extra oozes, let's go ahead and just send everything towards the Sorin. Love that. They lost a lot of advantage there. Now we're sitting at a 6 loyalty Tamio. We're getting very close to that ultimate, but again, 1 Invoke Despair really puts a wrench in that plan, doesn't it? A plus. That's a bit of a desperation sign. Silex. Okay, that's fine. That's a whole turn where we don't have to worry about it. We can try to figure something out. It's not great though. I mean, they have a lot of mana to work with here, so not great. Can Tamio just creatures, right? That'd be pretty crazy. Tap 1, target artifact. Artifact as well? Oh, baby. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Sorry, Silax, but you're no go, my friend. Let's undercover. Let's get this into the yard. There's the scoop. I was gonna say it's coming sooner than later because we were about to drop the Tainted Indulgence here, which it is an instant speed play. I want to see if it would have affected the oozes. I believe it would have. Yeah, there's no instant speed cards in the graveyard, so this Indulgence would have brought all of these to 4/5s, and we would have definitely send them all through. So things were getting really ugly for the opponent there. The fact that we could tap the Karn Silax too with Tamio was chef's kiss. I did not know we could tap Artifacts. That's actually pretty good to know. And then I had the -7 next turn, which would have been insane. So GG's. Man, Tamio is such an underrated planeswalker. I feel like Tamio is so good. Just to be able to tap something every turn is actually nuts, because not too many things are going extremely wide. I say that, but then there is mono red kind of making a resurgence, so who knows. But this is very ugly. But you know what, we have 3 lands. Let's keep it. They're not the colors we need though. All right, if I can just get 1 blue land here, we'll be in business, because we can otherworldly gaze. There we go. Perfect. And I could get countered here because they are on Grixis, so we're gonna go ahead and do it like so. Okay, that's unfortunate. I think we'll do it like that. That's a bummer. All right, well, we do have Tainted Indulgence though, so it can get us some more juice here. All right, we don't like that. Let's see what we hit. Gosh darn it, man. Not doing good with the mana drops here. Just not doing well. We did learn our little Tamio though can be tapping artifacts, so that Bank Buster not going to be able to get a whole lot going here once we get started. No, I'm gonna go Dollhouse. I don't know if it's gonna get countered. Yeah, dissipate. Okay, I figured. Okay, Dollhouse gets countered, so it is what it is. That was the one thing I would have preferred to get countered because I had a backup, so it's kind of why we went that route. They were on tapped, so it was very likely that was going to happen. All right. A little scared to pull the trigger on another play here. Do we try to Tamio here? I don't know, man. We're walking into more counter spells, I feel like. That's the thing, right? But I feel like if I don't play anything and I allow them to just draw another card with the Bank Buster, then we're going to be losing the game slowly through card advantage. So even if they have a counter, I feel like this might be the move. It does resolve. Okay, we're in business. Now I just need these otherworldly gazes to hit some good stuff, and we got ourselves a game here. Just need to find a Titan of Industry or something like that. That's fine. Totally fine. I think that's why I like the Dollhouse of Horrors so much, is that it's so much value. Once it's on the field, it's next to unstoppable, really, unless you have removal for it, right? So it's like, well, I think all those can go to the graveyard, to be honest. Might as well, right? They have something here. Is it a cut down? Yeah, probably a cut down. We're just really lacking in the mana department right now with the blue. We need blue really, really bad. I've thrown away so many blue lands, but it was out of necessity to try to get, you know, better reanimations and stuff like that. Another Urborg is actually really nuts. Can we get this to hit? Gonna save the blue mana just in case this gets countered. I can play out the otherworldly gaze, so we're gonna try. It does hit. We hit for 3. 1 2 3. Nothing in the yard to bring back. That's a bummer. All right, let's see if this hits anything good. Another Urborg. Okay, well, our deck is not finding us anything of value to put into the graveyard just yet, so that's a little unfortunate. Flame Blessed Bolt, sure. I can't believe how unproductive the finds have been here in the graveyard. We've milled quite a few cards into the graveyard, 13 actually, and have yet to hit anything of significance, so that's a bit of a bummer. Opponent on 5 cards in hand still too, which is scary. And I've got to imagine that they're probably some sort of bombardment deck. I'm so scared of counters that I don't want to play Tamiyo, but I feel like I have to play Tamiyo at some point, right? I just don't think Tamiyo's worth it right now. That's the thing. What a bummer, bro. What a bummer. All right, I guess these can go. That's actually kind of nuts. Oops. Creature or planeswalkers, nothing that I want to bring back here, so just gonna end our turn here, unfortunately. Yeah, I could have got back the Urborg, I guess, but I must have did that incorrectly. That's on me. That was a misplay, I'm sure, at some point. And a memory deluge. Ouch. Okay, yeah, if we lose this one, it is what it is. I mean, we just, our mills were garbage. Like, the RNG on this game was terrible for us. The likelihood to just not hit anything but lands that I need and spells that are viable, it's kind of crazy. All right, let's see if this hits. I'm sure it's going to get countered, and this is where the game starts to fall apart. All right, well, there's a hit. There is a hit. Let's get it in. Let's see. All right, I think I'm just gonna get a 4/4 and destroying an artifact doesn't seem very good, but I mean, the artifact in question can be a 4/4 body, so I guess it's worth blowing up, right? We do attack. We have the 4/4 extra body out here, but there's a Hull Breaker Horror, which pretty much sums up this game. It's unfortunate. We don't have the mana to take care of it. If we would have had one more land that was a black source, this transfer could have eaten it, but I'm sure they would have had a spell to just play out and bounce it. So it is what it is. This is definitely going to be a good game, unfortunately. Dang, man. Just the milling was just horrendous. Horrendous all game. Let's see if this can resolve. Highly doubt it. We're going to find out. You know what's funny? I was just gonna say a make disappear would be so sad because I could have played a land to avoid it, but they would have sacked the 1/1 anyways. We would have. There's no way it would have gotten through. So, GG's. It is what it is. Just a very unfortunate game. But again, like I said, because we tiered up, we don't go back. So that's nice. Yeah, that game definitely made me feel like this deck has a little more holes than I would have liked. I mean, it's just why does the mana feel so weird? It just feels like we would have 3 lands that are green with a blue card in hand, or 3 blue cards with a green land in hand. It's just kind of crazy. This is much better. Much better. Let's keep. And I'm going to keep the curve very, very good here. We are going to take some damage to play out this otherworldly gaze, but I'm going to do it anyways because I want to curve my 1-2. And going first here is very helpful. Okay, so we're up against Selesnya Enchants. Okay, that's not fun. Again, not looking so great on the milling front already. Off to a little scary start here. We do have Shigeki, which is a great blocker against a visitor for a turn or two. And it does ramp us, which is fantastic. All right. No attacks. The opponent just showed us a Bant land, by the way, which is pretty interesting. You don't see that a whole lot with the visitor. So I don't know if they're going to be 100% an enchantment deck or not. We'll see. If we see a Jukai Naturalist coming into play, we know what's up. Playing multiple different land types. I hate that. Yeah, it's a Naturalist. So they just splash blue in here for something. I don't know what it would be, but they are splashing blue it is in their deck. No attacks. And I will activate the Shigeki's ability here. Please, thank you. Titan in the graveyard. That's exactly what I need. Okay. Now we're talking. Titan in the graveyard. Now we just got to find a way to reanimate it in a very cost efficient way. Let's go ahead and get the Tameo down though. And let's just plus. Shut down the visitor. Even though the visitor I think can put its 1/1 counters. Yeah, 1/1 counters on any target creature. So it didn't really matter which one I chose there. What's nice though is I do get the Arbiter down next turn. Wait, do I? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we do. Arbiter comes down next turn, and then we can really start having some fun here. Arbiter can fill up the graveyard very quickly and shoot. I was gonna say and shut down their offense, but there goes Tameo.
No matter.
If we can get the Titan out, oh, that's a good way to get Tameo back too. Yeah, this is fine. We're in no danger yet. No danger just yet. Definitely you and you can. Whoops. You and you can go. Oh, it's just one card. I don't know why I thought two. Never mind. You can come down to 0. I always think when you draw 2, you have to discard 2. I don't know why. Any sort of effect that gives me a draw 2 discard effect, I always think discard 2. But touch of the spirit realm can grab anything, right? Creature, yeah. There's no converted mana cost value on that, unfortunately. So now we have a choice. Would we rather get back the Arbiter? Probably, right? I would think so. Let's get back the Arbiter here. They do get a land, which is unfortunate. They're going to grab a tri-land, I'm sure. Wait, can they, or is it just base? I don't know why my brain is not working here today. It's a basic type. Okay, so they can't get the... So they're probably going to get a white source, probably plains. Which helps them out a lot here, honestly. Yeah, I don't know why my brain is not working today. Working on very low capacity. I can grab one card back from the graveyard. I'll probably grab the Titan back. We're not finding the Dollhouse. Those are good cards. Those are very good cards. And now that I've drawn these cards, what do I want to do? This is actually tricky. I think I want to go ahead and exile this and play out Shigeki as a creature to block and ramp us again and filling up our graveyard. We gotta hopefully hit these dollhouses here. I'm actually gonna put a stop here because if I can otherworldly gaze for 1 and find that dollhouse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that'd be perfect. I can dollhouse and get back to Titan. So this will be a really good turn if I find it off the top here. We're gonna go 3 cards deep. So wish me luck. This could be a really good turn or it could be a flop. We'll see. Of course, this all depends on what the opponent does here and what sort of shenanigans they try to pull on us. Hallowed Haunting. That's an investment card, not so much a card that's going to do anything this turn. All right, instant speed. We put a stop on the upkeep so we can do this before the turn happens. We'll throw all of these to the graveyard. Come on, Dollhouse. No Dollhouse, but we do get a Tameo. It's actually really good. It's actually really, really good.
My flesh was a
Shut that down.
such an imperfect.
Can't activate Shigeki's ability, so we'll just do this. There's our Dollhouse. You go. All right, take the stop. I don't know why I put a stop on their turn. All right. I mean, we're sitting really good. It didn't go the way we wanted it to, but if we would have pulled the Dollhouse off the top there, that would have been a really crazy turn for us. I do need to figure out though. Yeah, I got to get this Titan in next turn and blow this Hallowed Haunting up because it is going to go off very quickly for the opponent. It's going to go off very quickly. Hopefully no. Oh wow, there's no other turns here. Oh, this is so good. This also seems so good. Oh, what do we do here, guys? I think it's the Titan, right? We have to get the Titan in. We have to blow up. We have to blow up that Hallowed Haunting. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Gotta blow that thing up. And blow it up and create the 4/4. We'll tap you again.
You do not write this.
Go over the top. We're gonna probably use Shigeki's ability here. Like so. All right, now we've got a Tameo that's ready to be alted. We can Titan of Industry, blowing up their borrowed time, getting back a Tameo again, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we hit one land, we can then also trigger the Dollhouse, which brings back Toxrill. So the opponent's in trouble. The opponent's in a lot of trouble. Let's see what they -3/4 here. They can get up to something with the mana value 3 or less. It's a borrowed time, which is actually really good. They're probably gonna take Tameo. That's a bummer. We were gonna alt it too. That's a bummer.
You cannot unwrite what has been written.
Lame, bro. Okay. Oh, it's not a land. It's not a land. Here's what we're gonna do. We can still do somewhat of the same plan. Toxrill's coming in. That'll blow up everything, right? Except for the Jukai Naturalist. We copy the Titan of Industry. We create a 4/4, destroying this. Tameo plus is on this. We attack in here. I think I missed the trigger there with the Jukai Naturalist. I missed the trigger with something there on that last turn, didn't I? I believe so. I don't want to attack with, well, I guess they can't do anything, right? They're tapped out. Yeah. All right. This time we're not going to miss the Jukai Naturalist play here. Let's get the Arbiter in the graveyard. There we go. All right. I like it. I like it. There's a lot going on here. I probably missed some sort of trigger again, but we're going to find out. We attack through, we kill Elspeth. Now these other creatures on the field are going to die naturally through the Toxrill's ability. And we pass the turn. We've got 2 Tainted Indulgences that can be triggered for their full value. A Titan still ready to go against an enchantment deck is always super powerful. Machiko. They're trying to put up a last-ditch effort here, but it's not going to be good enough, unfortunately. There's the scoop. Yeah. I mean, Toxrill just going off every turn, it was enough to probably close the game out itself, but we were about to get even worse there. We were probably going to fill up the graveyard with even more toys and tools, but we had another Arbiter probably coming in next turn, which would have definitely shut everything down. But good game, man. Good game. All right, one final game for the road, and then we'll be doing our next video, which I'm really excited for. We're going to be, I don't know if we're going to do the Selesnya deck next or the Jund list next, but either way, both of these decks are really, really cool. The Jund one I think is very similar to this one, so we'll probably play it on Wednesday. But the Selesnya one's pretty interesting too. Opponent gets to go first. The opening hand here is a little suspect. That's better. I guess it's like that. Toxrill in the opening hand doesn't feel good, but at least it's something we can discard to the, you know, the Tainted Indulgence, which is why we kept it. Another deck that's running a Jukai Naturalist. Fun. But this one's going to be a Naya version, so they've got red splashed in. For what exactly? Not sure. Red. What are we doing red for? They're not running runes anymore, so it's kind of strange to see that. They're off to a very fast start, aren't they? Going second against this deck when they have this fast of a start is very scary. Let's get the Indulgence down though. Nice, we get both of our Reanimator spells, which is fantastic. And the Tamiyo can come down and, you know, make that creature continuously tap, which is fantastic. But this next turn, we're going to take another big hit though, because we don't have anything to interact with this turn. I'm telling you, going second is a big deal. Very, very big deal. Haunting is out. The only good news I have here to say is that Toxrill is the creature that's in the graveyard. So if we can get that to, you know, get on the battlefield here quickly, there's a chance we might be able to come back, because that's the one card I would love to see against this matchup. Let's go Tainted Indulgence here. I mean, Shigeki's not terrible. It is a body I can throw out there to block with for a turn until I get down other things, but I think Tamiyo might be the call here though, because it comes in with 3 loyalty. I tap the Naturalist. All they have to do is play 1 enchantment though. This goes to 3 and they can kill it. So is that the play? Probably not. I think it's Shigeki, man. I think it's Shigeki, and then we just Otherworldly Gaze. Seems fine. Consuming Blob. What are we looking at with the Blob? 3/4? Instant, land, and creature. Okay. Let's see if we can find other things with this Otherworldly Gaze. Bummer, man. This is this is so bad. Going first would have honestly changed absolutely everything, because we would have been turning on a Toxrill this next turn, but instead we got to survive 2 turns, which seems about as likely as me winning the lottery right now. So let's kill the 1/1, I suppose, and then keep the Shigeki alive at least for another turn. Maybe it'll come in handy. We'll see. I might regret that. You go to the grave. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna send them all to the graveyard, so that way the Consuming Blob, it comes to a 4/5 or 5/6. 5/6. All right, and a couple 5/6s. Do we survive? I don't think so. Block here, and here. We take 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're toast. Dang it, man. We just beat this deck too. Dang it. Going second, you know? Just a bummer. Just a bummer. Again, Toxrill would have been down that turn, which would have been so key. Like, we would have had this board state, but then adding a Toxrill to it at this point, which would have been great. Would have been fantastic. Doesn't guarantee we would have won, but we would have been in a much better spot than where we're at now. We're just, yeah, we're gonna get absolutely ran through at the moment. So anyways, let the opponent have their moment. GG's. They might be getting the mythic on this game, so good on them, I guess. Congrats to them for that. And yeah, we'll just eat the rest. All right, guys. Well, that was a lot of fun, and the deck did a lot better than I thought it would do. So I am going to go ahead and break this thing down now, and then we'll talk about it. That is going to conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break the deck down and talk about it a little bit now, but before I do so, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's made it this far into the video. It helps an absolute ton when you stick around, so thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it very much. With that being said though, let's take a look at today's deck. We've got a good one here, guys. This one's really fun. It's not necessarily a good one as in, oh, it's gonna dominate the ladder or anything, but it is a blast to play, and I can see this being something pretty sweet if we make some adjustments along the way. But we're kicking things off, obviously. Tamiyo, Dollhouse of Horrors, a 2-card combo I played in the past a long time ago. Wanted to try it again, see if it's still viable, and it worked out pretty nicely for us. Tamio obviously creating these creatures from the graveyard as tokens back onto the battlefield, and any permanents really. You guys got to see, I think we got to use this for a dollhouse. I'm recording this intro and outro in the future, so I think I remember using Tamio's -X to bring back a dollhouse of horrors, which is pretty interesting because it can bring back any permanents as a token. So that's a pretty cool aspect of the card. And then obviously dollhouse, we know how good that can be. For 1 mana, tapping this thing sideways and just bringing things back as tokens is so much fun. Obviously bringing them back as 1/1s doesn't feel very good, but if they have good ETB effects or any effects at all tied to the card, you're gonna get your money's worth for sure. I like the undercover operative. It's a really flexible card where we can copy our opponent's things and then even our own things. I didn't know how good this was actually gonna be. I think it's one of the more important cards here because you guys got to see we can copy the consuming blob, we can copy the Titan. If you copy the Titan, it comes in with the shield counter already, because if you copy your own creature, you get a shield counter. So you get to choose the 2 other things from this card, basically getting 3 triggers off of the Titan as an undercover operative for only 4 mana. So if you have a Titan down, you play this for 4 mana. You just got a boosted Titan, which is kind of crazy. Arbiter is another card I really wanted to play badly, which is why we threw this deck into a Sultai build in the first place. I wanted to play the Arbiter. I knew I wanted to reanimate, and I knew I wanted to do it in blue. This card is so cool. Being able to draw and discard cards is phenomenal enough with this card, but being able to bring it in with haste and doing that right away when it enters the battlefield and when it attacks is insane. And then being able to render your opponents basically their creatures useless is also a nice touch. Toxrill is a tough one. It's not a card that I think it's not very good right now in the meta. I don't know why. I'm not so well versed at this game that I can sit here and explain to you guys meta and what goes on and how to combat certain things. Toxrill feels good sometimes, it doesn't sometimes. Right now I thought it'd feel pretty good because we have a lot of mono red, mono white, but a lot of times Toxrill wasn't actually hitting the mark for us. It's a really great card. It's easily targeted though. It's a big 7/7 creature that doesn't actually get its value until the turn ends, which is a big target on its back for the opponent. So Toxrill, a good card in a lot of sense, but right now it didn't feel great. I almost feel like we should almost cut this and add 1 more of each of these, but that's just my opinion. You guys can obviously change the deck to however you want. I encourage that. Make it your own and let me know what you guys do, and if you guys find a better way to play it, definitely let me know in the comments. But one card I definitely am not changing, Consuming Blob. You guys are going to see me playing this in a Jund deck later this week. The Consuming Blob is insane. I love this card so much. I don't know why people don't play it more often. It's actually really, really powerful because you get it down, and a lot like the Toxrill, it is a target because nothing triggers until the end step. So many people are unfamiliar with this card though. I get away with this thing triggering at least once before they're like, oh shoot, I got to remove it. By then it's already on the stack and I got a copy of it. So this thing is really nuts if you can get it strong enough. And then also if we can copy it, as you saw, it can really just start spamming a lot of these oozes, which is really, really nuts. And then the rest of the deck was made up of a lot of utility pieces, things that we needed to draw and discard, getting things to the graveyard, things like Tainted Indulgence, Otherworldly Gaze. And then also Shigeki as our 2-drop here was really good because it can ramp us up to our bigger spells, also filling up the graveyard. And I really like Soul Transfer. Soul Transfer has been really good to us lately. So this is going to be a card I'm going to be looking into a little more often. Another card you're going to see in that Jund list later this week. Urborg was a nice little experiment as well. This card gets to mill the top of our deck 6 cards if we play it for 4, and if you're lucky enough, it can jump up to like a 4/6 almost immediately. But yeah, guys, that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This thing was a lot of fun to play. It was an absolute blast. It was a pleasure to make this one for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos the last week, and I'm really happy with the way things are trending here on the channel. The support has been absolutely incredible, so I got to take a moment here just to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I appreciate every single one of you for, if you made it this far, especially. I mean, watching these videos all the way through is nuts. I can't believe there are actually people who are enjoying the content this much. So thank you for making this a reality for me, and I appreciate that. And we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so again, thank you for that as well. Before I get out of here though, and we close this out, as always, a huge shout out goes to the Marty Mob. If you don't know, the Marty Mob is the membership program here on the channel. So I got to give these guys a huge shout out for being members, because they help support the channel through those monthly memberships, and it helps support the channel, and it helps support me and my family. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. I appreciate you for that one. And yeah, guys, that's going to conclude today's video. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another one. Until next time, Peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man. Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap,